Hello and welcome to another video of Code Rash with Gaurav, where we break down AI trends, tools, and updates into consumable chunks. In today's video, we are going to try out hands on a very interesting tool I got to check out recently, Zenflow from Zencoder. The core difference is orchestrating versus prompting. Let's dive in to understand what does that mean. Zenflow is an AI engineering system built to turn agents from helpful when they work into a reliable contributor you can actually ship production software with. It does this by giving AI the same foundations that great engineering teams rely on: workflow orchestration, spec-driven development, multi-agent verification, and parallel execution across independent tasks. Instead of gambling with one-off prompts and hoping the model doesn't drift or hallucinate, Zenflow anchors your agents to a structured workflow where they plan, implement, test, and review, just like a real team. Specs in Zenflow evolve with the project, so your agents stay aligned on scope and quality as you iterate. On top of that, Zenflow has multiple agents critique each other and even uses model diversity, like one model checking another, to catch blind spots and boost success rates dramatically over standard prompting. And because all of this runs in parallel, you can implement multiple features, fix bugs, and run refactors at the same time, then review outputs you can trust rather than rewrite from scratch. So in this video, I'm going to walk through Zenflow as that orchestration layer for AI engineering, and then show you a demo flow of how you can use it to move from ad hoc prompting to a structured, scalable AI development pipeline. Let's get right into it. From the Zenflow website, you can download the software for your operating system. For me, since it is Windows, I have it selected. Else, if we go into details, we see that installers are available for Mac, Windows, and Linux as well. You can also use Zenflow as a plugin with VS Code or JetBrains. I have it already installed as a standalone app. Let us switch to that. When you open the app for the first time, you will be prompted to create a project, which I have already created here. Let us look at some of the navigations and options available. On the bottom left, I see a menu including settings and FAQ. On the top, we have an option to create new task, which we are going to explore soon. On the welcome page, we have quick access shortcuts for different type of tasks you can run using Zenflow. First one is a quick change. Say you have already implemented a feature and you want an additional quick change, this is the right task type for it. The second one is fixing a bug, and this is tuned to find issues and symptoms for the bugs and code fixes. The third one is where you want to do some planning before you execute and implement. It is recommended for new features. The last one is a full spec-driven development. This is useful when you are starting a project from scratch and you want to see a detailed plan, specifications, and review them before you start implementing. We have a task view as a board or a list, and do note that we can run many tasks in parallel. The most popular questions are answered right away in the FAQ glance, and we have links to read the full documentation. Let's explore the settings section. Other than theme and appearance, we have a very interesting setting here that allows us to choose the default agent when we interact in chat, and there are many models to choose from. The most popular models that allow AI-assisted or fully agent-driven coding with super speed are available here. We have few more settings and preferences like the default IDE and project location, etc. I will quickly scan through them for you. Another useful setting I found was the ability to connect to MCP servers, and you can define your config for the connections. Couple of MCP servers are listed out of the box, and one of them, which is Playwright, it is very useful for automation. So as part of your software orchestration through Zenflow, you don't just code, you can set up the automation and be production ready as well. Now that we know what Zenflow is, and we have gotten used to the interface, let's create a project to see how we can do software orchestration and learn how it is different from what we have done so far. Let us create a new task, and since we want a full specification-driven orchestration, let's choose the full STD workflow. What we are building today is a news in a glance app, which we have already built with Cursor and anti-gravity before, so the difference will come out obvious. Please check the Vibe coding playlist in the description for those videos. I have a detailed product requirement document prepared already, which I am pasting the task description here. Here we have the tech stack and outlines of the outcome detailed. We want to build a card-based UI to show news snapshots and a quick summary of latest news around the world. We want to build this with React and Vite as a build tool. We need to connect with an external API with an API key to fetch the news articles. We are not specific about the styling framework here, as it is a basic app and we will let the model decide. There are a few enhancements like pagination, offline caching and dark theme we can do later. Let's just start with our Zencoder default agent and run just one task at a time and get started. After I hit run, we can see that there is a workflow that gets triggered automatically, and it is not just jumping into coding it right away. Zenflow will first understand requirements, create a technical specification document, and then plan for the changes to be done, and then only will jump into coding. Here comes the magic of orchestration. You can run multiple of such tasks in parallel in Zenflow. This allows you to take control of the orchestration of the tasks, and you decide what to serialize and what to run in parallel, that too having a model's choice of its own. Isn't this amazing? On one side, in most of the tools, we are relying on a prompt to write the software for us, and on the other side in Zenflow, we are ones to orchestrate the workflows. So our first step of generating a requirements file is done. Let's check the result. In the Files tab, you can check files generated so far as part of any workflow. There are two files here, a plan.md and requirements.md. We will proceed with skimming through the file and proceed to the next step. This is where you would ideally like to take a break during the automated flow, manually intervene, and check if the agent understood your requirement in the right way and to the detail you wanted it to. Now at this step, a detailed technical specification document will be created. If you could relate, this is how a Scrum team would work on a new project or a new feature in an ideal environment. We typically analyze the requirements, design and plan around it, go through reviews before jumping into the code. If you have heard or read somewhere that coding is 90% thinking, that is what exactly is happening here. Cool. So our technical spec is ready to be reviewed. Let's check out the generated file. Here we see few more technical details like what are the versions of the libraries we are going to use, what are going to be the different components, and how are they going to interact with each other. Again, I am going to quickly skim through the file here to show you one feature of Zenflow and the software orchestration workflow, which I love the most. I am going to ask another model to review the spec and let's see how it goes. So if I go back to the steps in the workflow, I see a shortcut to review the output of one agent through another agent. Let's try it out. We could have done this after the planning step as well, but let's do it with the spec itself, so that our planning will be on a better and reviewed spec. If I had to do this with other tools, I would have done it via prompts, and the review would have needed the whole output of the first model as an input in the context window. In Zenflow, it looks seamless, natural and part of the workflow. We can review code, spec, documents, or the testing strategy as well with another model. This will also help in reducing the number of times I will have to do prompting to correct the code, fix issues and bugs later, which generally is a bad experience while working with AI-assisted or agent-driven coding. Alright, it looks like another model has found some issues with the original spec. Let's check it out. Mainly around the API's return format. We are expecting ID and URLs, but the API doesn't return that. The model which reviewed the spec did a search on internet and found the current API spec and was able to point out mistakes and corrections. Now we can use the review output as is in the next chat prompt and the corrections can be done. See how easy it was. All within the same workflow and it saved us a lot of time from bug fixing later. Let's try to correct the spec based on the review provided by the other model. This can be further fine-tuned with choice of models and its order. For example, I can let Claude Sonnet write the code first and then let Gemini review it, based on model's thinking capabilities and response times. Now that the review comments are addressed, let's move on to the next step, which is planning. We can run tasks in parallel or auto-run each step, but I want to show you how you can do manual intervention at each step, review the progress, and proceed from there. The planning is a progressive step after the specification is done. Using the spec file, agent will now create a list of subtasks and a to-do list, exactly how you will see in an agile board. Generally, with other prompt-based tools, excited and in anticipation of an outcome, we skip the planning step. But let me tell you that if you plan first, review and edit it before the code is generated, you end up getting a finished product earlier. And this is from my experience after trying out a lot of tools and vibe coding for a while now. Alright, so the planning is done and here is our to-do list. A new file called plan.md is generated to capture it as well. Let me begin with the implementation phase and start the next task. This is where you take a pause, review the plan, and see if you need the agent to make any changes. For now, I will proceed. From the list of tasks, if I think few tasks can be done independently, like say creating a test plan or writing a service to fetch data, such tasks I can run in parallel while other tasks are getting done. This is where you can orchestrate the tasks according to your need. Fast forward to few minutes later, and all of my tasks are now complete. Time to test the project. I can see a clean and meaningful commit history of what exactly is done at what step. All of my project files are here, and I can review each one of them individually if I want. Each step was a breakdown of how a Scrum team would ideally work on a project, split tasks, and work in parallel as well. This was impressive. Time to see if the outcome is close to what we needed. Note that for running and testing the project, I'm skipping the final step here and doing it manually as I want to take that control myself. Let's switch context to VS Code from here. And for doing that, we can simply open a new terminal from Zenflow and it will take us to the working directory. Let's launch VS Code from here. I have already provided the API key in the environment file, and we are going to serve the project in local to run it in the browser. Let's start a terminal and start the development server. A new build will be generated and served via localhost. We have it running on this URL. Let's try it out. Alright, so this is a news in a glance app that we have also built with other tools before. The outcome with Zenflow is quite closer to what I imagined it to be. We have news cards, a title and a summary, the updated date and time, and the source mentioned as well. Using the new task type, we can add incremental features like dark theme, etc. using Zenflow. Also, I don't see images loading for a few articles. We can fix that as well via the Zenflow tool, using the fix a bug task type.
And that is it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. And I hope you were able to understand the difference between going into a prompt hell, developing software in parts through prompting, versus how it felt so natural with Zenflow. We were able to orchestrate the whole software development lifecycle into tasks and subtasks, and we had a better control on what goes in parallel and what goes in serial fashion. So do try out Zenflow. It is available for free to be tried out, and do let me know in the comments how did you like it. I'll be back very soon with a new video on this channel. Till then, have a good one. Bye.